going to show you how to make this pretty spring bouquet cake. I think it's perfect for a female birthday, or even for Mother's Day, or maybe just to take to someone's house for afternoon tea. I'm just going to show you how I've cut the cake for the main bouquet. I've used a 6-inch square and I've just cut the corners off the end of the side, and then I'm going to lay them like so. So it's created almost like a bouquet body shape. Let me show you that in cake form. Okay. So I've cut the two corners and I've turned them round to create the point. And then with a sharp knife, I've just rounded off the edges just to make it look a bit more lifelike. And that is the body of the bouquet. I'm now rolling out 1 kilo of white sugar paste to, I would say, roughly about 12 inches diameter. I want to keep it quite thick still because this is going to be the paper that's going to wrap the bouquet up. It's really, really important that this piece of icing is kept circular or square because we're going to cut it into a square shape in a second. Okay, I think that probably will do. If you have a sharp knife, straight away before it starts drying, we're going to cut straight along the top. Actually, I'm going to go a bit further down because I want to get as wide as I possibly can, because we want sharp edges and sharp points on the corners. Okay, I'm working quite quickly because I don't want this to dry. Okay, so I've now got my piece of paper, so to speak. I'm going to put this on a board, a coloured board, a purple coloured board, because I think it's going to set off my roses really, really nicely. This all has to be done very, very quickly, obviously, because I don't want the icing to crack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my icing onto the board, making sure that there's a point at the end. Can you see? Because that's going to become my bouquet top. So that's on the board like so. I'm then going to lift my cake and place it like so in the middle. And I'm going to now take one side and wrap it over. I'm going to take the other side and do exactly the same thing and wrap it over. And then the rest here, I'm going to just gather. I'm going to move that up a bit, that's it. I'm going to gather up. And then when you come to the edge of the board, I'm just going to rip it off and make good that edge. Can you see? Don't worry too much about this area here because we're going to put a nice thick ribbon around it. Okay, and there we have the basis of our bouquet of flowers. I'm using these little mini muffins to make my roses. I've baked them in white mini muffin cases in a mini muffin pan. They only take about 10 minutes, so do watch them because they can burn quite easily. I'm going to take them out of the pan. Now I've decided that I'm going to make roses which are yellow and pink today. And it's much easier if you actually fix the mini muffins to the base of your cake first and then pipe on them afterwards. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one of my piping bags, my yellow piping bag, and I'm literally going to just fix a tiny, tiny little bit of buttercream to the base of each one, and I'm going to arrange them so that you can't see too much of the cake underneath. Don't worry that if you can see the cake poking out underneath, from underneath, because later on we're going to fill those little gaps with pretty green leaves. So just put them in as closely as you can. That's it. If you get to the bottom and you've still got some left over, then just there we go. Okay, so they've filled up that area nicely. I'm now going to take my icing tube, my icing bag, which is filled with yellow buttercream, but you can choose whatever buttercream you want, whatever colour. And I'm going to start off doing the trickier ones on the inside here. Okay, and then I'll finish off with these ones. I'm only using two colours, as I said, pink and yellow. So they are going to be some that are the same colours next to each other, but it really doesn't matter. Now I'm just going to show you a very, very simple technique for making a rose effect with this buttercream. I'm using a tube number 822, and I'm going to start in the middle, and as I'm squeezing, I'm just going to go round and round in a spiral, and then when I comes to the end, I'm going to stop squeezing and just pull off. And can you see that makes a really pretty little rose shape? I'm going to do one here. It is much easier to do when the muffins are on the actual cake, so don't try and pipe them and then put them on afterwards, because you'll get smudgy roses. Obviously I'm only doing two colours here, but you can do as many colours as you like. Okay, I'm going to start with the other colour now, the pink, to see where I need to take them. Exactly the same, in the middle, swirling round and round. As you can see, it really makes a difference if you use two different colours. You could also flavour this buttercream as well. You could make the yellow ones lemon, and you could make the pink ones strawberry. I think I might make that last one yellow. Okay, so now I've done the piping, you can see how it's really coming together and looking like a real life bouquet. For the polka dots on the flower paper, I'm using the middle size of the 3 set round plunger cutters. I've rolled out 3 different colours of sugar paste, all in pastel colours, and I'm going to, with a little bit of water, I'm just going to dab little dots all over the paper, down, whiz around just to make sure that there's a nice clean cut, and then onto the paper, and then plunge plunge. And I'm going to continue doing this until the whole of the paper is covered. I've covered the rest of the bouquet paper in polka dots, and now we're going to finish off the paper with a ribbon. Now you can use any kind of ribbon you like. We've got all different kinds here. I'm going to use this lilac one because it goes really, really nicely with the board and also with the colours, with the pink and the yellow. But as I say, you can use any type that you like. You can either use one that you've got hanging around or go on to Cake Craft World. It's got a huge range of ribbons. I'm actually using a wired ribbon here. Wired ribbons are good because when you scrunch them up, they sort of stay in the shape that you scrunch them up to, and it makes it look much more realistic. I'm going to try and lift the bottom of this cake up where you've scrunched it down. I'm going to do that using a palette knife. because it gives a much more realistic look if you actually put it underneath the cake. So I'm literally just lifting the bottom bit up, that's it, pull it away, and then I can wiggle the ribbon up to where I want it to be. And now I'm literally just going to tie it very gently when you get to the icing, 'cause it's probably still soft. Okay, and then I'm going to just tie a lovely big bow. This is where the wire comes in handy, because when you're plumping up your loops, they will actually stay in place. Once you've got yourself your perfect bow, you can cut the tails to size using a pair of sharp scissors, like so. There we go. Okay. To make the bouquet look a bit more lifelike, we're going to put some leaves in. I've rolled out some green sugar paste, and I'm using a large veiner plunger cutter. It's a rose leaf veiner plunger cutter. The reason I rub down like this is to get a really clean cut around the edge. I'm going to put it down on the surface, and I'm going to just press down, and what that will do is it gives a really nice emboss onto the leaf. I've got some leftover buttercream here. I'm just going to just put a little bit in all the nooks and crannies so that I can cover up any gaps. You can twist slightly the leaves just to give them a little bit more of a lifelike look. And I'm going to continue all the way around my flower bouquet until I have covered up all the gaps.